Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here. So I just got back from the first day of pads for the Washington Commanders training camp. So I'm going to tell you guys everything that I saw today, including some big takeaways and my thoughts on maybe some sleepers that not a lot of people have been reporting on that I try to watch a little bit closely this practice. If you guys are new, please subscribe, hit that like button and that notification bell as well so you never miss a video. So today's practice, it was very hot, even though the temperature isn't that bad early on. It was like 80 degrees during practice. It was super, super hot. Sun was beaming very, very hard. And, it was a solid practice. It was a little bit of a light day, even though it was first day of pads. It was a little bit of a light day. It was a little bit of a light day, a shorter practice, but still some, things to take away for sure. It was very packed, first of all, very, very packed. Met a couple subscribers. That was good. And got the Terry jersey on. I was thinking about just wearing something normal, but I was like barely going to use the Terry jersey, so I'm going to use it. And recording on the phone just because still some audio issues and tired from the practice, even though I didn't practice, and just want to get the video out. But yeah, biggest takeaways, I would say one, Darrick Forrest. I think the momentum has been building for him to be like, maybe not on the bubble, but like back end of the safety room. He was definitely not with the first team. The first team was Quan Martin and Jeremy Chin. That is a big takeaway. Quan Martin is looking like the starting free safety for the Washington Commanders. And then the second team, from what I remember, it was, and I did get a video of the first team defense, so I will look back later and, go over who was where. But Percy Butler, I think it was Percy Butler and Jeremy Reeves as a second team. And then third team was Darrick Forrest. And there was still some second team guys playing in the defense with him, but he was at least the third set of was a third set of safeties. So that to me is a little bit interesting. He's probably going to make the roster, and he's a good special team, or he can be a good special teams player, and he's a good big hitter, a good tackler for the most part. I thought he had a solid 2022 season, at least early on, when he was playing at strong safety. So I don't know. I would still like to give him a chance, get him to play a little bit, but hey, it is what it is. And some other takeaways, Colin Farrell was, starting at edge. Him and I believe Dorrance Armstrong. Dorrance Armstrong's number's 92, and that's who was at the other edge position. That's what he wore at Dallas, and I'm assuming that's what he's wearing here. And then Deron Payne, John Allen were at D tackle. Didn't really focus on them too much, but they were getting after the quarterback. They did pretty well. Jamin Davis was pretty much exclusively at edge from what I saw, was working mostly with the third team, got some work with the second team. So honestly might be on the roster bubble. I saw him get a couple nice rushes, so he's still getting used to it. So that's why I wouldn't write him off yet. I really like Jamin Davis in terms of the type of player he is. Not worth a first-round pick, but very quick, very athletic. Might need to still put on some weight in terms of being an edge rusher. And he has that versatility to play linebacker if, knock on wood, hopefully it doesn't happen. But if one of those guys gets injured, Bobby Wagner or Frankie Louvu, then you have someone that can play every down at linebacker. Didn't really notice Frankie Louvu or Bobby Wagner. I don't even think I saw Bobby Wagner once because I was focusing on specific players. Jeremy Chin, he made a couple big plays that I saw. I think he's going to be very good. So that's someone I noticed. Frankie Louvu also made some nice tackles. Forbes, saw him, didn't notice too much. Again, it was a little bit of a lighter day. I could tell maybe gained a little bit of weight, but not a lot. 17 pounds. I'm not sure if I'm completely buying it, but whatever. I was just saying the whole off season, if he can just gain a bit, that's what's important, and that's what he did. So huge props to him there. And that's kind of it on the defensive side. I guess there's a couple more things, and I'll talk about that and then go to the offense. Jordan Magee, I think he has a chance to be very good. He had a pretty nice tackle on the run game, had some other good plays too, working with the second team from what I remember. Offensively, thought Jaden looked solid, nothing crazy. They didn't really have him throwing deep, didn't really have any big completions at all, to be honest, that I can remember. Had a nice touchdown at the end of practice to Austin Eckler. He was pretty wide open. Not super wide open, but he was open. And Eckler was mostly working with the second team as a runner. Brian Robinson was getting all the carries as with the first team. And Brandon Coleman was getting reps at left tackle. That's great to see. and he looked pretty good from what I saw. Wiley was at right tackle. Lucas was mixing in there as well. But Coleman, he's been good. He's been good. The Commanders might have found their franchise left tackle. I'm getting ahead of myself, but he looked good for sure. And yeah, overall, Daniels looked good. He had a nice kind of throw to Terry on the sideline. It wasn't like a perfect throw, but it was a good throw. And Terry, it was a hard catch because it was sideline and it was a fast ball, but he should have caught it. He dropped it a little bit. I think Zach Ertz dropped one, also made a couple big catches. Kazmir Allen getting some work mixed in there with the first team. He made a couple catches from Jaden Daniels. Ben Sennett, noticed him a little bit, not a ton though. Was working in there a little bit with mostly with the second team from what I saw. And sorry if I'm looking up a little bit. I'm used to looking at the camera. My laptop's right up here. But yeah, for the most part, didn't notice too much from Ben Sennett. I saw someone on Twitter say he had a drop. I didn't see that, but there were a couple drops, so it might have been him. And I'm trying to think on offense. Diami was working with the first team from what I saw a little bit. Mariota looked okay. They didn't pass again. They didn't pass a lot. The practice was done pretty much like at 10:10, and this was the first day of pads. I thought it was going to be way longer than that, to be honest. And they didn't really get that much 11v11 work and 7v7 work from what I saw. I thought, yeah, Mariota had some nice runs. Jaden Daniels had some nice runs. I put some clips out on Twitter, and I might post some other clips as well, maybe on YouTube from stuff that I recorded. Luke McCaffrey mostly working with the second, third team. From what I saw again, he did look good when I was watching him in individual stuff. His route running was pretty good, very quick, very agile. Sam Hartman, he had a really nice throw to Jamison Crowder that I saw. Thought Hartman looked good for the most part. There's a lot of guys to focus on, but he did look good and had a really nice throw to Crowder. And he's got that aura. The quarterback room has aura. Him, Jaden Daniels, and Marcus Mariota. So thought the quarterbacks looked good for the most part. I'm trying to think. There's something that I was thinking about, and then I forgot. Running backs. Let's just go position groups. Running backs were fine. Receivers were fine. Terry, again, had that drop. Jahan, didn't really notice too much about him. Diami didn't make many big catches. Kazmir had a couple catches. Didn't really notice Marcus Rosemy-Jacksaint. Someone asked me to look for him. Didn't notice him too much. And then who am I? Oh, I'm forgetting. I had someone in mind that I was going to talk about, but I forgot. But let me look at the play-by-play here just on Twitter just so I can see some things that maybe I missed. Eckler, Zacchaeus. Really not a ton, guys, honestly. There is still takeaways that I can give you because I was there and I was watching specific players, but to be honest, in terms of actual practice, there wasn't a lot. Again, I said Derek Forrest working with Dante Fowler. That's what it wasn't an offensive player. It was a defensive player. He had a really nice play where in a normal game he would have blown up the play. In this scenario, kind of they stopped it early, but he looked good. I think he was working with the twos, but the defense, I would say, maybe won the day a little bit. I don't really know. Also wasn't completely locked in because I would get a clip, then post it or have to tweet it out. So I wasn't watching every single play. But biggest takeaways, I would say, Derek Forrest working with the 3's. Jordan Magee looked good. Brandon Coleman looked good. Didn't notice, and that's someone I should have kept my eye out for a little bit more. Mike Sanderstill, didn't notice him too much. Jaden was fine. Didn't have to do much, so really not a lot of sample size. So I'm not going to overreact or really anything because I don't think there's really any takeaways from Jaden. And I'm trying to think of any other major takeaways. Clelin Ferrell, they're still trying to figure out who that edge rusher is going to be besides Dorrance Armstrong. He was pretty much all the time the starter today, but then after that they would rotate guys in. But Clelin Ferrell today at least was the main guy starting opposite of him. And then also Marcus Mariota is still getting a lot of snaps with the ones. And I personally don't like how they do the rotations because they'll literally have Mariota doing 2 plays, and then they'll have Jaden Daniels 1 play, and they'll sub Mariota back in 1 play, and then Jaden. I don't like that personally. I think that they should have Jaden go 4 or 5 plays with the ones, and then you can go put Mariota with the ones too. But I think having him in and out like that isn't necessarily the best move. But what do I know? I'm not a coach, so it is what it is. But yeah, overall, a solid practice. It was good to be out there. A lot of fans. If you are going to training camp, I would say, I guess you don't have to go there super early. Like we got there like maybe 8:40, and we were able to get seats. And it's just very hot. It's just very hot. So bring your sunscreen. They got water there, but you're gonna have to, might have to bring a water bottle. They got food. They got everything that you need there, but it is very crowded, and because of the renovations, honestly, very hard to get a lot of signatures. Got me and my brother my brother got drawing pan signature, which was actually surprising. A couple other players, Johnny Newton, Benning. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but I do know it. And yeah, overall, it was a good experience. I encourage you guys to go. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, stick around. Go ahead and comment down below. Let's go Antonio Gibson, just because it's training camp season, and he was always pretty nice during training camp. I think every time I went, he was signing, and I met him. So go ahead and comment down Antonio Gibson if you stayed till then. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.